Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back again. Yup, this is Vetted with Irving Fryar and Hollis Thomas. I'm Irving. That's Hollis. Big dog.
What's
Hit him
up?
up. Hit him up.
I got him, damn Skippy. And the bird schedule is the bird schedule is out. I messed up a little bit. And
Uh-oh.
my sound was on my other thing. Was on my
So that
on
was
my,
you. I knew I turned mine down.
I was trying to turn it down.
It was you this time.
Yeah, it was me this time. But the bird schedule is out. And if you're like me, you want to get your road trip set up early so that you don't have anything to worry about later on. So go to phillysportstrips.com and let us do all the work for you. Just pick one of our amazing packages. We stay at the best hotels. We have some of the best menus. You get to hang with me and possibly other legends. So go and book your trip. Book your trip on phillysportstrips.com. It's also as you can see, I'm wearing my damn Skippy t-shirt. You can get these by going to one of the partners of Philly Sports Strips. That's phillysportshirts.com. And also tell them that the tank sent you. You heard it on A2D radio. And I forgot to tell you about the food. I was speaking to somebody who was raving about our food. We have the best food, the best hotels, the best tailgates, the best trips. That's phillysportstrips.com, or get yourself get yourself a damn Skippy t-shirt on phillysportshirts.com. Tell them that you heard it on A2D radio and that the tank sent you.
And I have my damn Skippy shirt on too.
Yeah.
Let me move my mic out of the way. Damn Skippy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. Thank you very much. Nice gift. I don't get many gifts, but when I do get gifts, they're nice gifts. Yeah. Listen, everybody who's watching right now or who will be watching, we have a very interesting show for you today. We're going to be talking about something pretty interesting. We're talking about Hall of Fame, whether they're great players or whether they're just good players. We kind of got into a conversation, Hollis and I, last week prior to the show coming on or airing, about someone in particular who was in the Hall of Fame that I couldn't believe was in the Hall of Fame because I played against this particular cat. And, I didn't think much of him. So we're going to get into that segment. Listen, our agree to disagree statement today or sentence or topic is Eagles Super Bowl this year or bust. Super Bowl or bust for the Eagles this coming season. If they make it to the Super Bowl, then yes, it's a successful season. If they don't make it to the Super Bowl, it's a bust. Anything less than the Super Bowl is a bust for the Eagles this year. Do you agree or do you disagree? Good to see y'all. See some folk coming in the room.
Room already?
Yeah, they're in the room already. Brian Daly, what's going on? He says, Tank, Irv, hope you guys are doing well this week. Yes, we're doing well. You know what? I wanted to talk about the came to my mind real quick, Tank, before we get to or Hollis. Okay. What do you want to be called? Tank or Hollis? Big dog? What do you want me to call you?
Whatever floats your boat, brother.
Well, big dog is my term of endearment for you.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Okay, big dog. Okay. I heard you say something earlier today, or we were talking last night, about your mama. Going to taking care of your mama, going to see your mama. We're in a very interesting time in our lives when our parents are getting a little bit older. And I'm sure there's quite a few people that we know that we frequent who are in that same dispensation of time in their lives where the parents are getting a little bit older. And now we kind of have to take care of our parents.
The parents, yes.
And it's a task. It's a task.
It is. Yeah, because they start acting like the kid now. I told my parents they're gonna wait till they get older, start acting like Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston.
Lord have mercy. and it's not so much that they're acting like kids, but they need our attention. Yeah. We have to pay attention to them. We have to actually, to a certain degree, at least my mother, she's 82 now. She'll be 82 this month, the 18th of this month. Mm-hmm. I have to pay attention. I have to take care of her. I've been taking care of her, but I have to take care of her in a different way now. Mm-hmm. Make sure I go over there, make sure she has what she needs. Sometimes go shopping for her, drive her different places, take her to the doctors, all of that.
So basically, the stuff she used to do for you, where you can do it for yourself.
It's turned around.
Return the favor.
It's an interesting time. I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, so it's an interesting time in my life where I've got to do every other thing that I have to do and do that as well. I got to make sure I set the time aside. So anybody who's listening right now who you're 60 years old, your parents are in their 80s, or maybe you're a little bit older, a little bit younger. They may be a little bit younger than that, but they're getting up there. And hang in there.
Yeah.
This is life. This is the way it goes. Take care of your mama. Take care of your daddy. I don't know why I'm saying this. Maybe somebody needs to hear it. That's dealing with the same thing that we're dealing with. But that's how life goes. That's how it's supposed to go. Parents take care of us when we can't take care of ourselves, and then they get older and they have issues and troubles and struggles and challenges taking care of themselves. So we have to take care of them. Take care of your mama. Take care of your daddy. You only have one of each.
Yep.
All right. Listen, we want to talk about the Hall of Fame today. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Pro Football Hall of Fame is not the NFL Football Hall of Fame.
Nope.
It's not even connected. I mean, although there are NFL players who are inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's not connected to the NFL. It's a totally separate entity. In fact, the Pro Football Hall of Fame is actually struggling a little bit right now, trying to, and that may be why they're just opening the door. They're opening the door and letting folk in that,
Now, see, when you said that, I didn't know that they were struggling, which explains a lot about the last three or four classes.
Yes.
So actually, it's been a few of them, and it's been that we were talking before we came on the show, and we were talking about just if you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer from the time you retire. There's nothing that they could do differently as you get into your waning years. And we'll get to more of this as we talk about the people who are in here and how long it took some people to get in here. It's like what is this, a lifetime achievement award? It's like come on, it's like go ahead, because it's like I know you ain't gonna say it, but it pisses you off because you're not in there. And some of the other guys who don't even have close to the numbers that you have are in there. And,
well, yeah, I gotta kind of. I'm not gonna walk lightly with this topic because I agree. I agreed to talk about it.
No, you can tread lightly because I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it bad. I don't give a damn. They are screwing up. They are screwing things up big time.
Well, when you look at, I went on some of the sites today as we both did,
right?
And when you look at, you look at some of the guys who are not in that they mentioned, and there's some of the guys, former players who have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and there's something screwy going on. There's some shenanigans going on in the process of selecting those who get inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, because I can name a few guys I know that should have been in. There's guys that you go to some of these sites and they'll tell on some of these sites, they have a list of 25, 30 guys that they're in the Hall of Fame, but they should not be in the Hall of Fame. And then naming guys, I mean, like Art Monk, we were talking about him earlier.
Yep.
Art Monk, when he retired, I believe he had 900, because I was chasing him. He had 950 plus receptions. Number one in the history of the NFL. After he retired, 4 years later, he was still number one. Nobody had caught him. Nobody had surpassed him. Nobody passed him in terms of receptions. I don't know how many yards he had, but I remember he had 950 plus catches. And several years after that, when he was still not inducted into the Hall of Fame, no one had passed him. It took years for anyone to surpass him and to catch beyond 950 plus catches. Now you have a few guys with 1,000, and they'll continue to have 1,000 catches before they retire because they throw the ball. But they're saying now, people are saying, or some are saying, that Art Monk should not be in the Hall of Fame. What are they talking about?
I don't know.
Here's a guy that's got a Super Bowl. Here's a guy who was the best in the NFL at his position for years after he retired. No one had done what he had done in terms of receptions and yardage and no one had done that at the receiver position. He should have been inducted way before he was actually inducted.
And I told you what was happening. They were saying every year, like when it was this, once he became eligible for the Hall of Fame. I heard this from some of the writers. They would be getting ready to go into the little room that they go in for politics, and it's like, oh God, we're gonna do the Art Monk thing. It shouldn't be an Art Monk thing. The thing is. And a lot of people don't pay attention.
What's the Art Monk thing?
The Art Monk thing is like somebody would be arguing that he should be in, and other people would be arguing against it. And I think it's more so because people feel like that you have to kiss the asses of the of some of the media people, and you shouldn't have to do that. I mean, the one thing is like if you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer from the time that you're eligible. The one thing, the Kramer guy, who was the offensive guard behind, you remember the Ice Bowl?
Yes.
You remember the quarterback sneak? They ran behind Kramer. He was the only one from the team. He went in with Terrell Owens. That's how long they waited to give him his flowers.
Wow.
And it's like into the audacity of these jackasses to put things like this and to put who they feel like, and that's like, no, that's not the way things are supposed to be. But it is your club, and some people who don't know the process, they revere it, but actually it may be losing some of its luster. That's why they're probably suffering now, because what did Primetime say?
Just move my head, put my head in a different room, or give me a different color jacket. They call it a bust. He said I'm calling it a head. Take my head and put my head in a different room with the top 11, the starting 11 or the starting 22, offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
But that the fact that the Pro Football Hall of Fame is struggling, I got that information from one of the heads or one of the higher ups in the NFL headquarters, at NFL headquarters.
That's why
so this is straight from the horse's mouth. They've been trying to get the NFL to come in, because I mean, when you think about the Hall of Fame, first of all, it's in Canton. What's in Canton? Nothing is in Canton.
Nothing but the Hall of Fame.
They were actually trying to get the NFL to send some of the administrators over to work in Canton. They were like, I'm not. And the one I talked to was one of those people they were considering sending over to Canton. I'm not going over there. There's nothing in Canton. But when you go to Canton, you would think that the Canton Pro Football Hall of Fame would have some type of way of interacting with the fans who come to view the bust, who come to enjoy the Hall of Fame. The way technology is right now, you would think they'd be able to put on some goggles and you could actually, interact with some of the players from their, era in which they played. They don't have that kind of stuff. They don't have anything going on there, and they're really struggling to keep things open. And to your point earlier, that may be exactly why they're just kind of opening the door
for people
and
to come up there.
Just hoping for a flood of people to come in. Yeah, because
but when you look at it, it's nothing. It's like it's nothing there. But you would think they would have better pageantry. And
that's what I'm saying. They have more.
But it's like when you treat the masses the way you treat them and make them wait so long to get in, don't nobody want to help your ass. I don't care who you are. It's like it's kind of like I've been trying to be your friend, doing everything to be your friend. At some point, I don't want to be your friend no more. But now you miss me. You miss me running up behind you. It's like, so that's what it's coming to. Because once I found out how things went down, and then I saw Tony Baselli get in.
Yeah, Tony Baselli. We'll talk about that in a minute.
But also in watching the way things go, and watching guys who I played against who I knew should be first ballot offensive guards, and watching them do what they do with the list of guards I got, I whooped them like cornbread batter every time I played against them, and I was an undrafted free agent. Right. It's no way you should be getting your rump whooped like that. Just in general, and I don't know. And you're not a game changer. Like Larry Allen, he's the first balloter. He played guard and tackle, and he was feared.
Right.
And it's like when you more feared than loved, that's when you're supposed to be a Hall of Famer. They waited till but George Papadopoulos died. Mungo, the dude who punched the horse, they waited till he died. You know why they waited till he died? Because him and Paul Hornung got and we need to talk about the gambling idiots too. Him and Paul Hornung got suspended for a whole season for gambling.
Right.
Paul Hornung went in while he was alive. And I met Paul Hornung. Paul Hornung, he's cool as hell. He said the only reason that they put him into the Hall of Fame was because when he came back, he apologized, because they wanted them to both publicly apologize.
Right.
And George Papadopoulos said, "Are you going to give me my money back?" They said no. I was like, "What am I apologizing for? I took the punishment."
Right.
Like,
but that's something that
Go ahead. No, because I was just going to say the thing that I don't think that I don't think we appreciate as fans is I've had an opportunity to go look at some of these guys on tape and see what they used to do.
Right.
Like George Papadopoulos. He was a man amongst boys, and I was like George was Mr. Papadopoulos. He's from Webster, George Papadopoulos. So I was like, dude, and that's it. But when you get an opportunity to look at these guys on film, like I bet none of our viewers or none of the people know that you ran a 4.23 and a 40.
No, they don't know unless they ask. No, they don't know.
No, dude, I was like, can anybody beat you? I said, can anybody beat you? I was like, dude. I was like, no, nobody. And now I was like, now I know why he was number one. But no,
Yeah.
it's like, but you have the yardage and the catches to be there, and you played in the era where there was a fear factor going over the middle. All the
Right.
guys, the things that are going on now, dude. I get sick and tired of them calling the quarterback a warrior or a receiver. You're not no damn warrior.
Not these days.
They're not these days. I don't want you to get hurt or anything, but don't call it something that's not. So,
right. Because there's opportunities that come about. For instance, I believe it was against the Giants last year where Devontae Smith caught a ball on the sidelines and the Giants safety. I mean, he had a bead on the ball,
right?
And he could have intercepted the ball, or he could have knocked the living snot out of Devontae. Devontae was brave, he was courageous and fearless, and kept his eye on the ball and caught the ball. But the safety just whiffed and missed everything, and Devontae caught the ball and scored. But back in the day when I was playing,
that was a business decision.
Well, for him,
for
Devontae would have missed the next 3 games.
Yeah, that's what happened to Lynn Swan.
Yeah, he would have missed at least the next 3 games because he would not have gotten up from that play.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's different.
If you want to. And speaking of difference, I think Ralph just put up. We got a video coming up of the.
Did he say I got the private chat up? I didn't see it. Is it up there? Let me look at the private chat. Yep, he did. You did, Ralph. I'm sorry, I had the different chat on there. I'm trying to look at the people.
Yeah,
good looking out there, big dog.
No problem, man.
We got a commercial. Go ahead, Ralph.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
All right, we're back in the house. To your point, Hollis, about waiting to and even inducting people who have passed on, and who are not here. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, what good they can't benefit from everything that comes from being inducted into the Hall of Fame. When you're inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it changes your life, right? And it opens doors for you that weren't open. What's going on, James? I see you. It opens doors for you that weren't open prior to you being inducted. But if they wait until you're dead and you're gone, it does you no good. Your family can't use it. Yeah. They're not the ones going to be going around signing autographs. And I had a conversation. Give me my flowers now. I had a conversation with Harold Carmichael. Yeah. We both know Harold. I'm good friends with Harold. We're both good friends with Harold.
Harold's my guy.
And Harold was inducted during COVID. During that year, COVID was pretty strong. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so he couldn't really travel a whole lot because most things were shut down during that time. But he had a comment to me. He made a comment to me about how, he could be traveling around, but he really couldn't be traveling around because he's older, and he had wished that if they were going to induct him, which they did, they would have done it sooner because he really can't enjoy it because he's too old to do the circuit. He's too old and doesn't have the energy to do all the touring that comes along with that so you can enjoy.
And not only that, man, it's like if they was doing it the right way, they would not be having money problems. Right. If you do it while a guy can do the tours, and if you do it while the guy can do the tours, and he can come there, and they can come there, you don't wait till somebody's. Kramer. That's why, and I know a lot of people thought T.O. was being a jerk when he did what he did. No, he wasn't being a jerk. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. It's like because it's like either you're a Hall of Famer or you're not. It's no ifs, ands, or buts around it, and that's why I was laughing because when we get into some of my list, you'll see it's like they're trying to get people that they know that'll come around. It's like, but you can't. It's like some people are not going to come around just because you made them wait so long. Tell the folks about Drew. I know everybody hates Drew Pearson because he's a cowgirl.
Yeah.
But tell them about that. Tell me about that because I was like, wow. I'm not sentimental because my mom told me don't go where you're not wanted. So if you don't like me, I don't give a damn. But a lot of people are not like that. So
that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. That was the other point that I wanted to make about the Hall of Fame, the selection process.
Right.
I was just recently inducted into the Philly Sports Hall of Fame, but
congratulations.
Thank you. I didn't find out till they called me. There was no process where they, had nominees and you're on a ballot and you find out you're on the ballot and then you got to wait to see who gets chopped down to 25 and then you find out who's in. No, I got a phone call and a text message saying I was in. Didn't believe it when I first got it, but eventually I came around because I thought somebody was playing. I thought it was
somebody prank calling you.
Yeah, prank calling me or trying to get in my phone and all these scams and stuff going around. They're trying to get my information. But so I did finally yield to it and found out that it was true. But with the Pro Football Hall of Fame, there's a process. They let you know who's on the ballot, so on, and then it's torture. I've been on the ballot several times. It's torture. Trust me. It's torture waiting around. And then it's depressing when you find out you got cut. It's torture and depressing.
And then you're
Drew Pearson went through that process.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead. No, because he went through the process. And they do a cut. And then they have the finals. And you think you're in there because you're in the finals. Wrong.
And I was watching something where Drew was I guess he was watching on television.
Right.
Who was being, who the finalists were and who they were going to select. They did not select him. He started crying. He was upset. He was saying how they broke his heart. What do you mean? Come on, really? So they need to change that process, in my opinion, from someone who's been a part of that process in the past. They need to change that process and just, let all that, the inductees, I'm not the inductees, but the ballots, all that stuff, keep that silent, keep it private. When you select who's going to be inducted that year into the Hall of Fame, then you announce it and let it be a surprise to everybody. Don't have guys swinging from a limb, hanging from a thread.
What the other part
hoping that they get selected.
And I never thought about this until we were just talking about the process of this. Is I think some of the people who vote for certain people, I think they want kickbacks. They want I was in there fighting for you. I was doing this for you.
They probably get kickbacks.
Yeah.
And then I've also heard, because I'm praying, hoping and praying that one day I will get in. And that, and that really happens more the more you get on the ballots.
Wow. That's it. I told you, I probably have never been on the ballot. I really don't give a damn. Because I know it's not
Skippy.
It's like the one thing is like once I figured out how they did it, I can't predicate my life and my career what I did. I enjoy playing the game, and I tried to play to the best of my ability.
Right.
And it was like when I talked to Chris Carter one time, and he made me realize it's not very many people like me and you. It's not even like they played 10 plus years or 15 plus years.
Yeah.
It's like it's not that many of us at all.
You're already in an elite class.
Yeah, it's an elite class. It's less than I think it's less than 10,000 of us.
Right.
So
in the history of the world.
Yeah, in the history of NFL football.
In the history of no.
The
Big
world?
dog. In the history of the world.
Oh wow.
You got to go history of the world.
Damn Skippy.
It's the history. It's not just NFL. Because the NFL is the NFL. So you have to have played in the NFL to do what we've done. And we've done it longer than most. So it's the history of history.
Yeah. So
we're in a very elite group, just having had played the amount of years that we've had, just having had played in the NFL. And particularly you as a free agent, man. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. So who are a couple of guys? I'm going to name a couple, but I want you to name a couple of guys. And you can name that other one, Zach Thomas, man. That's how this whole thing got started.
Yeah,
Zach Thomas down in Miami.
Well, it got started because I mentioned that to you, and you was like, "What?" I was like,
I'm like, Zach Thomas is in the Hall of Fame. I had no idea.
He's getting inducted this year. That's why I was like, I was like, seriously, dude. I was like, is this what? And that's why when I think Primetime said it when I think once because Tony Baselli he only played 7 seasons and he was hurt, and he was hurt most of the time.
Right.
And it wasn't like he transcended the position. He wasn't no Tony Munoz or nothing like that. He was to me. If you're often hurt, you're average at best because you're not available when we need you.
Well, it was that class that Tony Baselli was in that prompted Dion Primetime to say what he said about the head and the bust and different room and all that kind of stuff. But then Bruce Smith, because Primetime implied it indirectly, but Bruce Smith came out and said something about Tony Baselli.
Did he come out and say that the Hall of Very Good?
No, well, yeah. Well, he basically said that Tony's not supposed to be there. He's not a Hall of Fame guy.
No, he's not. And it's like because when you look at some of the other guys that had the position, now you can give them the Hall of Fame, the other guys the Hall of Fame for longevity and making the Pro Bowls, the other offensive linemen. But I didn't think they was because I was kicking their ass. Alan Faneca and Steve Hutchinson. When they gave Steve Hutchinson all that money, when he was playing for Seattle. I was taking his lunch money like nobody's business.
Yeah. So he's in the most recent class.
He's in Steve Hutchinson is what class are you in? He was in one of because I played against him. He was younger than me. So
yeah, but they just let him in.
Yeah. I was like, and when they gave him all the money too, I was like, people don't know that I was in Sports Illustrated because whooping his ass. I'm talking about they had a picture of me like running him over and blocking Matt Hasselbeck's pass. I still got it around it somewhere. But
I wish you had it. You could put it up on the screen.
But when you look at some of the people, like they let Tony Baselli, Alex Fenner, but then I think one of the ultimate ones, it's 2 ultimate ones that I know everybody was like, what? It's like John Lynch and Jason Taylor. Now Jason Taylor, he has 139 sacks, but man. It's like you did. It's like I don't know. I can't do it. Go ahead, because I want to hear you talk about stock blocking Zach Thomas.
It's not even stalk blocking Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas was a hustle guy. Mm-hmm. He was Joe Hustle. He was a high energy guy.
He was is what I call a high energy white guy.
Yeah, and he had a fast motor.
Right.
But other than that, he was not a force on the field. Listen, my definition of a Hall of Famer is that you've got to be operating at a high level on a consistent basis over an extended period of time.
Right.
You got to operate, play, and produce at a high level on a consistent basis, meaning you got to be on the field, not on the sidelines. You can't be hurt all the time, and you got to do it over time. Mm-hmm. That's you don't have to win a Super Bowl. You don't have to get all those Pro Bowls, but if you operate on a high level, and people have to, when game planners, whether you're a defensive game planner, a coordinator, or offensive coordinator, this guy, we got to know where he is. We got to know what he's doing. He's a problem.
That's what I was going to say. The only to break it down in what we call layman's terms before I do my read, we had the opposing team should be checking for you. If the opposing team is not checking for you and they're going about their business, you are not a Hall of Fame. You're not a problem.
And Zach Thomas was never that for me.
Yes.
Like I said, if I squared up with him, if I was running outside or running inside with the ball and I squared up with him, or if I blocked him, I'm running his behind over. I'm not even thinking about trying to pick a side. Yeah. I'm gonna run straight down the middle, down the middle, and run him over and step on his chest and keep on going.
That lets me know you mean it. But I do have a read right quick.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. Here we go. Do I give I need my close up. There we go. Damn, Skippy. The bird schedule is out. And if you're like me, you want to go and get your road trip set up. So just do like I do and just go to phillysportstrips.com and book one of our awesome trips. And then, and leave it. Wait a minute. What did I say?
What'd you say?
I say leave it's basically leave the entertainment to us. I was dreaming when I wrote this. We stay at the best hotels, and we have the best tailgates, and you may meet a Birds legend or two. So go to phillysportstrips.com and tell them the Tank sent you, and tell them I sent you, but tell them you heard me on A2D Radio, And as you can see, myself and my esteemed colleague, Dr. Fryer, are wearing the damn Skippy t-shirts. My boy Drew should be watching. Drew, thank you. PhillySportsShirts.com. Both of those, they're partners hand in hand, and you get, and that's who makes our actual Philly Sports Shirts t-shirts as well, and apparel. So this has been Tank coming to you from A2D Radio and PhillySportsShirts.com and PhillySportsShirts.com. Back to you, Irv.
Yeah, y'all got to get these. This is a nice, it's good material,
yeah,
made well, and man, it feels good. They fit well, true to size.
Yes, that's why I love when Drew made it. He had to come up with a couple of different materials because being a big guy, you know, you got to breathe.
You're extra big. Yeah. Listen, I was looking at a guy, and like I said, when I was doing my research on the Hall of Fame, I really became a little bit disgusted. Marcus said, "Hook me up, Tank."
I got you, man. I got you.
No, give him the link. Let him know, Marcus. You got to buy one.
PhillySportsShirts.com.
What's going on, Vinny from Island Smoothies and Salads? Yeah, that's Vinny.
Yeah, I know. He's my guy.
So I was just getting a little bit disgusted today, you know, because there's people in the Hall of Fame who I played against that should not be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. And there are people who are not in the Hall of Fame, people like Roger Craig.
Right.
That I know. I mean,
my brother says it all the time. I say it all the time too.
Roger should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he made it okay for Marshall Faulk to be what he was.
Like, I mean, he was the first one in NFL history to run for 1,000 yards and catch 1,000 yards in passes out of the backfield. Who does that?
Nobody.
And how many?
I do want to let the people know that you're not just you don't, because I know you don't want to toot your own horn, but I know that you had 851 catches and you had 12,785 yards.
Well, I saw a list today of I saw this by accident. I wasn't looking for this.
Okay.
But I clicked on a site that talked about the top 50 players who should be in the Hall of Fame who are not. And I went down to number 4 and it was me.
Well, it's like, because you look at it, it's like when I think of it, and I see certain people not in there. I started this when I was a little bit younger because you know Eric, they didn't let Eric. You call you Mr. Pick Six, and you're not in the Hall of Fame. Eric Allen.
Eric Allen, yeah, or Hines Ward. Hines Ward should be in the Hall of Fame.
And everybody, every outside linebacker feared his block, and he was just a tough all around guy.
Right. But I beg to differ though. They said he was the toughest in his era. I was tougher than him. I was more physical than him. I'm gonna toot my own horn.
Yeah, I didn't say he was tougher than you. I just said he was tough.
But LC Green. Yeah, LC Green should be in the Hall of Fame. That cat was what?
Well, no, man. It's so many people that truly should be, and we have some of the people that they just kind of ceremoniously let in, and it's no wonder they're hemorrhaging money.
Russ, do you know who Russ Grimm is?
Yes, he should be in.
You think he should be in? He's part of the Hogs.
Yeah, I know. I watched them maul some people.
Okay.
So, put it this way: when you're an offensive lineman, if everybody is scared of you, they
were scared of him for sure.
If my linebacker and my safety are not coming to you, it's like, keep him off me, Tank.
That means but Russ is, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be, because I played under him when I was at Washington.
Right.
Good guy. But people are saying that he's in, but he shouldn't be in because he didn't play that much. And when he played, he wasn't really a starter that much. He played in the Hog era and was a part of the Hogs, but he wasn't a starter. So that's their argument with him. And I that's why I threw him out there for you, because I wanted to know what your opinion of that was.
I respect his game. If he hadn't been with what they had with the Hogs, he would have been a starter pretty much anywhere else. And the fact that he was able to play, he played a multitude of positions too. So it's like and when he was man, put it this way, you had to have your head on the swivel when he was in there.
Well, back then, of course.
Yeah, and it's like, and he was I don't know.
You got compound fractures back then.
Yeah, no. It's like, so it's, put it this way, when they let Tony Romo in, that's when it's really gonna be time to jump on the water wagon.
They better not. You think they're gonna let Tony Romo in?
Dude, they have a football life for him on the NFL Network.
So you think they're gonna let him in the Hall of Fame?
They have a football life for him.
Okay, I heard you. so you think they're gonna let him?
Okay, let me say. Okay. Who doesn't belong here? They had Tony Dorsett, Troy Aikman, Tony Romo, Drew Pearson. Those were the football life that was up there. Which one of those don't belong?
Tony. I'm sorry.
Romo, Tony Romo.
Tony Romo. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking Drew Pearson, but I wanted to say Tony Romo. You're right, Tony Romo.
Yeah, but they're trying to pump this, and I'm like, dude, I would not kiss an overrated loser's ass. I'm sorry.
But isn't that what happens? And that's what I've been told as well. Well, you have to get out and you have to put your name out there. You have to create a campaign and, let people know that you want to get into the Hall of Fame and get them to back you. Listen,
what am I, damn politician?
I'm not doing that.
Are you a politician?
Yeah, I'm not doing that because I'm not politicking. I'm not going to beg anybody. Like you said, not that I don't. I mean, I do care. It does matter to me. Mm-hmm. But if it doesn't happen, okay, fine. That's fine. It just doesn't happen. I'm not going to die if it doesn't happen. I'm not going to have a fit, and I surely ain't going to cry.
The thing that I don't like that they do is is the guys who it's nobody that played this on the committee, the selection committee.
And see, that doesn't make sense to me. I guess they got a senior committee that is maybe has some former players on it or current Hall of Famers.
I highly doubt it, but I think it's a messed up system. That's why they're having trouble.
Well, I'm not sure what the process is. I've heard
Tom Benson donated the stadium. Mm. You know why he donated the stadium, though?
So get some money.
No, not that. But we played.
So you write it off.
No. When I was playing with the Saints, we played there, and it was horrific. It was horrible. And I commend him for seeing something that needs to be done and just doing it. I love Tom Benson. It's like he was a cool dude, but he saw something that was wrong. And I think immediately after we played there, he donated the money to refurbish it and build it up. I was cracking up, but he saw something needed to be done. He handled his business. So.
Well, it's really. Really behind closed doors, what happens, nobody really, as many people as I've asked and tried to have conversations about what the selection process is and who actually does the selecting, I've been told continually more times than not that it is, sports writers and not necessarily former players who are selecting. So what about when these sports writers get older or they get younger? Yeah. And they don't know some of the older players when they played.
That's why they had the senior selection committee. Now,
right, and that's current players though who are in the Hall of Fame, correct?
Now, Out Smoothie and Salads just put a comment up here that I think you should hear. It says Irving is still in the top 15 all-time in yards, ahead of many Hall of Fame players. Compare Lynn Swann numbers to Irving. You didn't even know that, did you?
Well, I knew my numbers were better than Lynn Swann's. I know my numbers are better than Michael Irvin's. Yeah. My numbers are better than Bob Hayes. Yeah. Bob Hayes only had 1,000 yards twice. Yeah. He only had 371 catches.
Yeah. The funniest thing too is like some of they often talk about when the guys are breaking, some of the other guys are breaking the records. You have to remember there was no jam rule and there was no pass interference, and that some of the guys who had 1,000-yard seasons, 1,000-yard rushing seasons. It was 12 games, then 14 games, then 16 games.
Right.
So those early guys, they were getting it. And some of the rules that we have, some of the rules that we've been afforded that protect us, the guys who catch the passes, they're pretty much taking advantage of them. And the one thing that I hate to see is when a pass is overthrown or something, the receiver always throws his hand up like somebody grabbed him or something. It's like it's like we have an illegal contact rule in football.
Right.
Illegal contact in a contact sport.
Yes, it doesn't make sense. Look, if the ball's anywhere in the vicinity, if it's overthrown or not, as a receiver, you're getting hit.
Well, you used to get hit.
I'm saying, yeah, I'm talking about the era in which we played. You're getting hit.
Yeah.
And quarterback, okay, you throw the ball, you're still getting hit.
Blasted.
You're still getting hit. So that, like you said, that changes the mentality of the offensive player.
Right.
You can't compare some of these modern day quarterbacks with quarterbacks who played during the time of Kenny Stabler and Terry Bradshaw and Fran Tarkenton. Man,
they waited till Ken Stabler was dead to put him in.
Yeah, I know.
Like, come on, man.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
And I'm just, all right. That's enough of that.
Okay.
You finished talking about that?
Yeah, we can stop talking about it.
I'm upset enough now.
Okay.
We should have left that out. We shouldn't have did that.
We should have left which part?
Just the whole Hall of Fame talk, man.
Okay.
I'm the one that actually brought it up last week because we.
But yeah, it's a subject. It's a subject that
Thomas.
Yeah, but it's a subject that needed to be talked about because they're gonna gloss that crap over like nobody's paying attention and putting Zach Thomas in there.
That's ridiculous.
And it's like, I'm like, come on, man.
I mean, but I mean, even the fact that he's a 7-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All Pro, that's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
What other linebackers were playing when he was playing? Everybody else must have been hurt.
And I think Ray Lewis was there. It was I was like, so come on,
get out of here.
It was in the same era as Ray Lewis.
And he was selected as a Pro Bowl linebacker over Ray Lewis, or at the same time
probably
with Ray Lewis.
Probably with Ray Lewis or something like that. You know how they do. It's a popularity contest a little bit, and that's the guys who go there. Normally they shouldn't be there. That's why the game started stinking up the drink. Because when I used to watch the Pro Bowl back in the heyday, it was like I was like, man, they out there really fighting, and I found out that the loser doesn't get as much money as the
That's right. That's right. I've been to all the Pro Bowls I went to.
Yeah.
We want to win because we got family coming over, and we got kids coming over, other friends coming over.
Yep.
You're taking up. You got the bill.
Yeah, and you want that extra money.
You picking up the check. So if you don't win, you may break even. But most of the time you're not. You're coming out your pocket a couple $1,000s. So you got to win that game so you can come out ahead. So when you pay that check, when you foot that bill for everybody, you got a few dollars left.
Now hold up. Now I played with I feel like one of the best linebackers in the NFL at the time when Zach Thomas was playing. And Jeremiah Trotter. I think Jeremiah Trotter numbers are probably better than Zach's. I haven't checked his numbers. But I think he's not in. He was like,
he's inducted in my class into the Philly Sports Hall of Fame.
I'm talking about the Hall of Fame.
I know you're talking about the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
So it's like when you put Zach Thomas over him, it's like, really? And that's the part that
Well, that just boggles my mind. I'm just baffled by that.
Yes, and I know you want to move on to some basketball and some baseball.
Something else frustrating.
Baseball is not that frustrating because they have 11-game road winning streak. I think I was told today it's the longest winning streak since my boy Andrew told me. It's been a while since they had a long road winning streak.
Right.
And they're doing great on the road. It's just sometimes they come home and they falter and lose that one game to a team that they know they're supposed to kick their butt, or they give up the lead. But it's they're starting to come around and play some quality baseball.
Well, it seems like their MO to fiddle around and fumble around and falter at the beginning of the season, and people are questioning, are they ever going to get it together? They've done it before, but will they do it this year? And they seem to be on the same track that they were last year around this time, where they started turning it around, and they're beating, they're winning against some good teams, particularly on the road. And for me, sometimes I can see as they travel, they play a lot of games in the Major League Baseball. They come back home. There's more distractions at home than there are away. You know what I'm saying?
I know
you got particularly guys who are married and have kids. There's more distractions at home than you have when you're. I used to love, I don't want to say anything negative about my family, but I used to love to go to away games. Why? Because the family couldn't come, or at least if they came, they weren't with me, and I didn't have to watch any kids. I didn't have to hear any kids. I could really focus on what I needed to do in terms of playing. So I used to like the quiet and the privacy and the individuality of being away at an away game.
So you felt like you had got your freedom on the road, huh?
Say what? I got my what?
You got your freedom on the road.
I got my freedom on the road, yeah, because it was just me. I didn't have to worry about anybody else.
And speaking of road, it's time for another one of those Philly Sports Trips commercials.
Yep, you got it. Hit it, Ralph.
Hit it, Ralph.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
All right, we're back. We're back again. This last segment.
Yeah. I had a quick question for the people that are with us. What's about these Sixers? Our Sixers. What the hell are they doing? I'm just. It's still baffling me. We signed Patrick Beverly, and somebody the other day was like, "This is a great sign, Patrick Beverly." I was like, "You acting like we signed somebody that's been past the first round of the playoffs." I mean,
he's a role player.
He's a really good defender. You hate him if he's not on your team.
But he's a role player.
Well, he's a role player. You need role players, but what are we going to do with James Harden if he's staying? Just say he's staying. But I don't know. They was kicking it. They was all kicking it. They were showing them all kicking it together at some white party over the
white party. Yeah,
I ain't a damn about that. Make a move.
I have a little bit of a different philosophy. First, let me say this. I would prefer James Harden not on the team because Harden is a Debbie Downer. He's a negative energy on the team.
Well, he's a bit of a ball hog in there.
He's a ball hog. He's a prima donna. And he's a sometimer. He's capable. He's not a bum in terms of how he plays. Because he can score 20, he can score 30, he can score 40 if he wants to. He's done that even in the first couple of games in the playoffs. He took over and got us to the point that we got to in the playoffs because of him. Took a couple of games over and scored 30 plus points. So he's not a bum playing, but he plays when he wants to. He's a sometimer, and most of the time, more than not, he's not at that high level and putting that ball in the basket. So, and then at the same time, he's a negative energy, and I believe he brings Joel Embiid down. When he's moping around, Joel Embiid is not a leader. Joel Embiid is not that guy that's going to pick the team up and carry the team. He needs another alpha male who's a leader on the team.
He needs an alpha male on the team. He's not an alpha male.
Right. Well, okay. When I say alpha male, I'm talking about his skills. Yeah. He needs a leader that's an alpha male on the team. And Harden is not that. So if Harden stays on the team and does not play at the level he's capable of playing and is up and down, Joel Embiid is going to suffer from that because he's going to be the same way because he's not a leader. He cannot pick the team up and spark the team. But here, think about this with James Harden. He opted in. He's going to get, if he stays with the Sixers, $36 million this year.
You know why he opted in? Wasn't nobody talking about giving him that type of money?
Because he wanted he wanted that money. I think he wanted to try to get a trade because nobody wanted him.
Nobody wanted to give him that type of money.
And to my point, where I'm going with this, nobody wanted to give him that type of money. So now he stays with the Sixers. Mm-hmm. James Harden, just like everybody else, likes money. Mm-hmm. He's got to, in order to go somewhere next year and get a significant or a good amount of money, a decent amount of money, he's got to play this year.
Yes.
It's almost like it's the same scenario as Miles Sanders with the Eagles. He had he was a guy that got hurt and nobody really was thinking a whole lot. He balled out this past year. Miles Sanders did. So there's the possibility James Harden knowing that if he doesn't ball out this year, it'll be the same scenario when the end of the season comes, and nobody will want him, or at least they won't want to pay him any kind of money.
And so Matt says
he wants that money, so there's a possibility in his mind he'll come out and he'll ball out this year and be a great asset for the Sixers. Just a thought. A thought.
And the thing is, if he comes out, balls out, and gets us past the second round, that will actually make his stock go up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's trying to get another contract.
I cannot ignore Matt Schatz. Patrick Beverly is a great mascot. Patrick Beverly, I like Patrick Beverly's game, but he kind of lost. He kind of lost me when he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves and they were in a play-in game to get into the playoffs. And if you saw, I don't know if you saw any other video footage. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people saw that where they thought it was a championship. Confetti dropped. Everybody. Patrick Beverly jumped up on the announcer table and pulled his jersey off like he was in a Michael Jackson video. I was like, if you don't get your ass down, you want to play in game.
He was hot, man. He was hot. You need to get out of those clothes. He was hot.
Man, please.
Overheating.
And then they proceeded to get swept by whoever they played next.
So that's just my thought. I don't want James Harden on this team. I wish they were able to. I wish he had opted out, not in.
Well, no, you don't get nothing if you opt out. If see that, but if he opted out, the Sixers would still be kind of strapped because they had him on the books, and so that money. That's why when he opted in, it kind of helped the Sixers out.
I said that wrong. You're right. Yep. I'm glad that he. I'm sorry. I'm glad that he opted in because again, can you imagine the Sixers with Harden on it 3 years from now? No.
No.
And Joel Embiid 3 years older and 3 years taken or 3 years removed from where he is right now in his career? No. So this way, either Harden's going to hit it this year and hit it hard and help the team, be an asset to the team, and hopefully, prayerfully get past the second round and then be gone.
Yeah.
Or if he does that, maybe he'll stay, but he's definitely got to change because his attitude, his demeanor, the way he carries himself, the way it seems that he feels about the team. They're in the playoffs, and between games, he's going to Vegas. That's what are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
What are you doing?
I don't know. That's got to be done. You know what that reminded me of when you remember when Odell Beckham Jr. when they got into the playoffs, they got the first round bye.
Yep.
And they had all those. It was the most ill-advised picture with a bunch of dudes on the boat.
On the boat.
A bunch of dudes shirtless on the boat.
On the boat.
I didn't see a single woman. I'm not saying anything, but I wouldn't have been on that boat. And
listen. Every time you see Odell Beckham, a picture of him, he's got his shirt off.
But we use it. I know that. But
you ever notice that?
I try not to notice it because it's kind of disturbing. But
it is disturbing.
But the thing that ended up happening there, they never really recovered from that. They didn't know. But they really not get their asses kicked from that. And it's like you get what it's like when somebody finds out that you're not, and it's like you're not taking the game seriously.
Right. And that has an impact on the team. And it had an impact on the Sixers when Harden went out to Vegas because, okay, coach, what are you doing?
But
there's something not going to be done about this. Why is this guy in Vegas? We're out here giving all our all, putting our time and energy in, spending the time we need to get back on the floor so we can have, a chance to win.
Correct.
And here he is out in Vegas. Are y'all going to do something and nothing happens to him? He comes back and everything's Gucci.
But not. I see you learn some new words from the youngins. But not only that, you just think of the team that you're playing. It's like, so we wanted to be played with them,
right? Yeah,
So they finished. If you notice, they was after those first few games, and he started doing that. He wasn't really effective. Then the last game that game 7, I think he scored 9 points.
Right.
Yeah. And then, but then too, it's like I feel like with the new coach, is on the first year of his contract, so you're not getting fired. Mm-hmm. You can demand a lot of things.
Well, yeah, I think Nick Nurse is going to make a difference. He's kind of a no nonsense, or actually a no nonsense coach.
Yeah.
He's not going to let Harden or Joel Embiid get away with some of the things that Doc let them get away with.
I think he was too lenient. Yeah, and then and that's another thing too. It's like we had this, and that's why I felt Brett Brown stayed too long, because when you have a team that's that you're inundated with losing and doing whatever they want and thinking that it was okay, you're losing. You're losing. You need to be in the gym every day.
Yep.
And then you turn around and you bring another lackadaisical coach in. It's like you're giving them the carte blanche to tell you to go screw yourself. It's like telling him when he's not going to play. Who the hell do you think you are?
Well, then again, you got to remember that this is a different dispensation of time where we have players who are from a whole nother generation who they're in their mindset, or at least what they demonstrate and what we see visibly is that it's an option for them whether or not to yield to or obey or to recognize authority.
And it's not, and I feel like that's a disconnect, because it's not about recognizing authority. You signed up to win with a team. You do your part. We're paying you to do your part.
Again, it's an option. They don't see that though. They don't.
I know what you're saying, but this is the thing as well. I'm asking you to do your job. I'm not telling you to do your job. I'm asking you. If you don't do it, I will get somebody in there that will. And that's the part. That's the part that we are allowing this to happen. We're allowing them to continue to do the crap that they do instead of it's like, because we're all. It's kind of like when I hear this, what I get pissed off when I hear a lot of the people on some of the sports outlets talking about waiting on a quarterback or waiting on my life don't stop. I was like, I'm not waiting on no damn. He needs to get his stuff together because we're trying to win now. If we're part of rebuild, it will rebuild when I'm young, and I'm cool with that. Learning how to win with a set of people. But you bring a quarterback in there, we waiting on him. He's throwing pick out. I had the same crap happen when I was playing with the Panthers. And Jake Delhomme, they had just paid him all that money. I will tell you right now, we played against the New York Jets with Mark Sanchez as the quarterback. We lost 17-3, but they only had 130 yards of total offense.
Waiting on the quarterback.
No, our quarterback, Jake Delhomme, threw two picks.
That's what I'm saying. You're waiting on the quarterback to develop.
He had already developed. He had got paid, but they were just playing him regardless. So he threw 3 picks, 2 pick sixes, and another pick in our territory that they got the field goal from. And it's like, and then finally they went to Matt Moore, the younger backup, and we started winning. We went on a win streak. Now, had you did that a few games earlier, he's throwing pick after pick after pick. It's like if he's throwing all those picks, he's not helping the team. Right. I understand you don't want to kill his confidence. You don't want to pull him. I was like, but if he's doing that game after game after game, what about the rest of us?
But again, the mentality that you're talking about, like what I was talking about earlier, is an old school mentality. That mentality doesn't exist anymore because somehow, some way, when you're looking at or you're listening to some of the experts and they're talking about how they're seeking, in other words, okay, we're going to go get Lillard. We're going to bring Lillard in. Well, let's talk to Joel Embiid first and see what he thinks. What do you mean?
Well,
he's a player.
I know, but basketball is a little different from.
Okay. We're going to bring in a new receiver. Let's go talk to one of the other receivers.
They're not going to talk to none of those receivers. They may talk to the quarterback.
Okay, but people were saying let's talk. We got to talk to AJ Brown. You got to talk to AJ Brown because does he want him in here? No.
Well, AJ Brown's getting paid. He should just be worried about
exactly. He just do your job.
Do your job, yeah.
Do your job. Matter of fact, we're bringing somebody in here to help make your job easier.
Now, the thing is with Lillard, they want. I think they were trying to get it from Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid wants Tyrese Maxey to stay, and with good reason. I feel like he's gonna. Nick Nurse is gonna unleash Tyrese Maxey. I don't. It's like if we're able to get rid of James Harden, who's 30, what is he, 32 or 33? Why don't we go get Damian Lillard and waste all that? He's also in his 33, he's often hurt. He's often injured.
Yeah, he's been hurt a lot. Yeah.
So it's like it's cool, but
But when he's on the court, man, the cat, he's lethal.
Yeah. But when you say it again, when he's
on the court, he's lethal.
Case has been rested. Your best ability is availability.
Well, I don't. You know what I don't necessarily like or agree with is this whole mentality that athletes have now. Again, the way I came up, and I guess it just doesn't exist anymore. Listen, when I got to Philly,
right,
John Gruden was younger than me,
right.
And he was my coach. He had a title, coach. Mm-hmm. So I did what he said do.
Right.
Now, if he asked me to do something that I thought was detrimental to me, or that wasn't going to benefit the team, then I would probably pull him to the side and have a conversation with him. But as long as he was asking me to do what he was asking other people to do, and it was within the realm of us moving forward as a team and being productive as an offense, I did it without question. Yeah. Without question, even if it was going across the middle, without question. Yes. That doesn't exist anymore. Like I said, authority and respecting authority and yielding to authority, it's an option now.
Yeah.
In sports.
Big time.
How are you going to, and like you said in basketball, how are you going to tell me I'm your coach? You're going to tell me I'm not playing today, coach. I'm not, nothing's wrong, but I'm going to take the day off.
What?
That's what Joel Embiid was doing. That's what James Harden was doing with Doc. They were telling him, and they were taking, and Doc said it, they were taking days off when nothing was wrong with them.
Yeah.
And he didn't agree with it, and they knew it, but they still did it. That kind of stuff I just totally disagree with, because it takes away from the game in terms of the coach and the players.
Yeah.
There's a coach who manages the players. You play. You do what your thing do on the court. Right. Let him strategize, and you listen to what he says to do and do it.
Yep.
Otherwise, it causes dissension and a break in the ranks.
Dissension in the ranks, yes. So
breaking the ranks. I mean, that's mutiny. That's called mutiny.
Full scale mutiny, yes. Yes, it is.
It's 6:02. We don't have a mutiny going on here, but we do have to get off of here.
Yeah, because Marcus coming up next or something like that. Or Marcus at 7.
Yeah, Marcus coming at 7. You know what, Hollis? What I want you to do, I know it's a little bit over time, but give us your history. History with Hollis. We didn't hit you up last week, man. We didn't remember. And we almost got off here without it this week. But you go ahead. Hit us with Hollis's history.
Today is July the 6th, 2023. It's the 187th day of the year. There's 178 of these puppies remaining. Today is actually National Fried Chicken Day. So go out and get you a yard pimp and fry it. Yes. Today's events is you saw in 1776, the American Declaration of Independence was announced on the front page of the Pennsylvania of the PA Evening Gazette.
Wow.
So, and then in 1853, William Wells Brown, he publishes the first novel by a brother. It was called Clotel. So Clotel. Yeah, Clotel.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give in 1885, you have Louis Pasteur. He had to develop the anti-rabies shot. He gave it to a 9-year-old that actually saved his life. In 1886, they started giving people malted milk, like the malted milk in Wisconsin in 1886. And hold on a second, I had a bevy of events there. 1970, California passes the first no fault divorce law. 1957, we have Aletha Gibson. You should know this one. She's the first African American to win. Actually, she's the first Black athlete to win the Wimbledon.
I was going to say Wimbledon. Wimbledon's on now.
Yeah, it's like that's why I mentioned that. Mm-hmm. Also, we're actually in sports purgatory because in 1933, the first MLB All-Star game was played in Chicago at Comiskey Park. The American League beat the National League 4-2. I got some birthdays here real quick. 1925, Merv Griffin. If you don't know who Merv Griffin is, you're not a game show person. 1931, Della Reese. 1939, Ned Beatty. 1945, Burt Ward. That's the Robin from the original Batman. 1946, one of the fiercest forces, Fred Dry, who also played Hunter. 1946, also Philadelphia, Sylvester Stallone. 1949, Phyllis Hyman. 1970, Inspector Deck from the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, 1975, 50 Cent. Tia and Tamara, 1978. 1979, Philadelphia's own Kevin Hart. And the Man You Love to Hate, 1981, Nambi Asamoah. Man who eats lunch in his car. That's all I got for you all this week in sports history.
Happy birthday, Nambi.
He does have a nice wife, though.
Yeah. Listen, y'all, we out of here. Thanks for being with us today here on Vetted with Irving Fryar and Hollis Thomas. I'm Irving. That's Hollis. We'll see y'all next week here at the same time, same place, right here on A2D Radio.
Go Birds.
We're out.